I'm back at it again. I am going to talk to you about a few things, and the first being that why are you still with that person? Why are you still with that person? Why are you still friends with that guy or that girl? Why are you still interacting with that family member who keeps talking about you behind your back? Why why are you still at that job that God told you to leave? Why? Why? That's the question of the day. Why? And here's the reason why. Because you're disobedient. You're disobedient. And hey, I am not here to judge you because guess what? I've done everything that I just said. I stayed at a job too long. I've been friends with someone I shouldn't have been friends with and did not end the relationship in the season that I should have. I've been in the wrong romantic relationship with someone who just was not equally yoked with me and who's not for me and I was not for. Okay? And so I say these things to you to say this. The longer that you do not listen, the longer that you do your own thing, the longer that you are going to be delayed. There is a purpose that God has for your life. There is a purpose that God has for your life. You are not supposed to be at that job. He told you to leave. You don't have a job. That does not mean that you're not going to get another one. Maybe He's having you in a season for entrepreneurship. Maybe He has you in that season because you have to leave that job to get the job that He is planning for you to send you your destiny helper. That friend, He's not going to bless you with that friend in your life because guess what? That friend is jealous. That friend is envious. That friend is plotting. That friend is gossiping and telling your business. So every time you tell her something or you tell him something, whatever your plans are flop because you did not let it come to fruition on your own or pray about it, but you told that person and they cursed it, right? Or you're in a relationship with someone and God does not want you with that person because they cannot go where you're going. They do not have your purpose. Your assignment here is not aligned with them because they have a different assignment. Or they're not saved. Or you're unequally yoked. Or maybe your wife or your husband is elsewhere. And now you're wasting time with Danny or Sarah. The reality being is this. When you waste the time, you might not think it as wasting time. You might be like, well, I love Kenny. I love Jenny. I love my best friend. I love my mother. I love my cousin. I love this job. I'm comfortable here. I don't have any drama. That does not mean it is the place for you. It does not mean those are the people for you. Yes, even family members get it too, right? You should not be inviting the cousin or hanging out with the cousin who you know does not like you. Or stop telling your father who talks too much and is a gossiper about your personal business. You have to have wisdom. You have to know when it is to cut the cord, okay? Sometimes that you're delaying what God has for you. Not only are you delaying what God has for you, but you're being disobedient because what you're saying is that what you want to do is more important than what God, than what God has for you. And like when you think about it, when you put something above God or you're making an idol, whether you recognize it or not. People always think that idols are like just anything you worship, but worship to God is obedience to God. So if you put something above what God has told you to do, you have made that thing an idol, right? And I'll give you an example. I am someone who people always I consider myself different because apparently everybody always says, oh, you're crazy. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, she's crazy. There's nothing crazy about me. I can't stand that. There's absolutely nothing crazy about me. But the difference is that I march to the beat of my own drum. I do not follow the dictates of society. I'm going to say what I feel. I don't just say anything or to anyone and everyone, but within context. I'm not going to like sugarcoat things, right? I am definitely a kind person, but I'm not a nice person. Like I'm not over here like I love you. Oh my God, you're great. Like I'm not that person. Like I'm a New Yorker. We're straightforward. I'm kind, but I am not nice. I'm not over here like, hey John, how are you? That's not me. So, that being said, most people are like, oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. So for me, my friends are important to me because I'm not for everybody. And so if you are my friend, you are like my sister or my brother. If you need me, I'm going to stop what I'm doing to assist you. If you need help, I'm going to help you. That is who I am. I am loyal. I'm a loyal person. That's just my character. But people can see who you are. Sometimes they see what you don't. Sometimes they can see the blessings that God has on your life, and they can see it in you. And other times it's not that. God has shielded them from seeing who you really are. So that causes mistreatment. And in other cases, it causes jealousy. So I have had 2 really close friends who I would say in my lifetime were my best friends. And when I say I 10 toes down for these girls, 10 toes down for the girlies, okay? But there were people in my life who were like friends and family, like I don't like them. Those are not your friends. Like you need to keep one eye open. And me, I'm like, no, those are my girls. No. And a lot of times I know that people have misjudged me, like not like me and not know me, because I do have like bitch resting face. Like I don't walk around like, hi. I walk around like, so people who don't know me, especially in a work setting, might think like I'm a bitch. Excuse my language, God. Or they might think I'm nasty. I'm really like not at all. But I'm straightforward. So most people, if they don't know me, might not take to me, which is fine. So I understand being misjudged. So when people are like, oh, don't talk to them, oh, they're not good friends, or they're not whatever, I'm like, well, I haven't had that experience and I love them, right? And you couldn't tell me anything. Long story short, both of these people in both of the scenarios, God revealed them to me. And they didn't even know that God revealed them to me. He revealed them to me in dreams. I heard conversations that they didn't know I was privy to. And it was just baffling, right? So, excuse me, someone wants to call me during this. It was baffling to me. It was beyond baffling to me, because it was just like, those were my A1 day ones. You couldn't tell me anything. That being said, I got the warnings. And even with some of the dreams, I kind of was like, well, God, I don't know. That's just a dream, right? And he kind of was like, oh, no, let me show you. So that being said, I say that to say, when you know it's time to go, and I had some feelings. I saw some things, and I'm the type of person that I'm going to communicate. Especially if I love you, I'm not going to just like jump to conclusions. I went and I talked to them myself. And they just kind of like gaslit me and kind of just like, oh girl, you crazy, instead of like addressing the things that I was telling them. And so I say that to say, when you recognize that it is time to go in your spirit, in discernment, when you've got all the signs, you don't need 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 and 9 strikes. Go. You are delaying your destiny. You stop thinking that what you see is the best. What you see is not always the best. What we see in our eyes, God has so much better for us. Every time I have left a situation, whether it be romantic, whether it be friendship, whether it be job, God has given me 10 times better than what I could have imagined. And only if you let go. You're not letting go because you want to have control. Stop trying to have control. Let God have control, because obedience is better than sacrifice. But not only is obedience better than sacrifice, you are delaying your blessings. That guy, that girl, you think they're the most beautiful, whatever, are they still treating you the way they treated you originally? If after the 6 months is up and they're treating you worse than when they ever treated you, it's time to go. People when someone loves you, they are always going to be consistent. Please, okay? If you're with somebody and they are not doing what they're supposed to do, and they're supposed to be Christians, if they're not Christians, did God tell you it's your job to be a missionary relationship where you have to bring this person to Christ? Because that is a hard task. And there's so many other things that you need to do. You need to be equally yoked in your friendships, your relationships, and your familial relationships, and your job. Like, even if the job is not a Christian job, okay, you might have an assignment and a purpose there. If you're at the wrong place, you can't fulfill your assignment, your purpose, or even get your blessings. So that being said, when God says move, move. When you know in your heart it's time to move, move. When you have the discernment to move, move. Stop delaying your blessings. There's life outside of your mind. There's life outside of what you think. There's life outside of your reality. God's reality is not our reality. He moves in and out of time, and he knows what's best for us. So follow suit and listen to the Holy Spirit. Or just listen to your discernment. Roll out. Deuces.